The Reserve Bank has decided to cut rates to 3.85%. The RBA Governor, Michelle Bullock, believes Australia is on the way to victory in the fight to bring inflation down. Joining us with more analysis live now is Associate Editor at The Australian, Eric Johnston. Eric, always good to see you. Thanks for your time. Are we now witnessing the soft landing that the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, has spent so long talking up, or is it still too early to make that call, do you think?
I think they've almost got it. They've almost got it in the bag by the way Michelle Bullock this week was talking. So you could almost see the smile on the face of the Reserve Bank Governor, and that's a big deal. You never see these people smile. So what we're seeing here is the idea that inflation, we had this terrible inflation bubble coming out of COVID, and now they've been able to engineer it to the point that inflation has come off to the extent that we're almost there. It's right in the zone where they want it. Their forecast is inflation by the end of the year could hit around 2.6%. Well, that's in coming months, and that's right through their forecast period. So their zone, their green zone, if you like, is between 2 and 3%. So that's pretty much it, right in the middle, 2.6, 2.5 to be perfect. Now, the big difference from when Michelle Bullock stood up in April in the last meeting, and also in February, we had a rate cut in February. The big difference now is the global economy. And when we talk about the global economy, there's one person, and that's Donald Trump. So Donald Trump has made a big difference to the outlook for the economy. Of course, he's been talking up a trade war and tariffs. Now, while that's an inflationary shock for the US economy, it's a deflationary shock for countries like Australia. The reason being we're expecting slower global growth coming out of it one way or the other. Regardless of where tariffs land, we know that there is going to be some sort of slowdown in growth. So that means the global economy slows. So that's made the work of the RBA so much easier in fighting inflation. A few months ago, we thought there was a sticky last mile of inflation, particularly around services inflation. That doesn't seem to concern the RBA anymore. So therefore, after Michelle Bullock stood up yesterday and cut the cash rate, we got the 25 basis point cash rate cut. So now there's another 2 to come in the bag, we expect, possibly August, another one in November. Really good news there for borrowers. And the extra good news is that we expect another one to come potentially by this time next year. So it's about the May meeting. That's where the market is thinking it could get to. That's going to make so much difference for borrowers and homeowners.
Yeah, clearly great news for mortgage holders, Eric. I know you spent a lot of your time speaking with business leaders too. You mentioned the tariff situation, the outlook in the US. How are they feeling about all of that as it stands?
Yeah, very, very concerned. So, and the main issue is that they don't know where the tariffs is going to land. So business hates uncertainty. So even if times are relatively tough, if they can get a certain outlook, and they can at least plan around it. What Donald Trump has introduced into the equation is so much uncertainty, and we saw that from the beginning of April when he came out with his Liberation Day. There was tariffs being sprayed all over the place, and we didn't know where they were going. He's announced a pause, and you've seen equity markets recover on the back of that. But in the background, there's been this tussle between China and the US. Tariffs were escalating. Now that's de-escalated again. But we're in this window, this sort of strange era, I guess, the eye of the storm, which is countries going around or the United States trying to look for negotiations and deals with other countries. We just don't know where it's going to land. And even yesterday, the central bank governor, Michelle Bullock, she was saying it's not only uncertain, it's unpredictable about the outlook. Business really hates unpredictability. So what does business do? Well, what they're doing right now, they're controlling the controllables, what they can control. they're really targeting costs and the balance sheet, trying to make sure that's as strong as possible. And also, it's really important what business leaders are doing is trying not to react to the moment. So keeping an eye on the longer term view of what's where this is going to land. So this is going to play out for some time. So it's important not to go too short term at the moment.
Yeah, we wanted to strap in. Could be a wild ride. Eric Johnston, always appreciate your analysis. Thank you.
Thanks, Ash.